Hey, hi, I'm Gerald Powell, ready for some pizza fun, and I'm making pizza for kids as a surprise. Normally I would have my kids right in here making the pizza, rolling the dough. I have my fresh made dough that I made in my bread machine, and what I'm going to do is make a plain pizza that all it has on it is, well, it's going to be pizza Bianco with the dough with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. I like to use extra virgin olive oil, a little bit of mozzarella cheese, and that's all it's going to have. So let me show you how I'm going to do that. I take my dough, and when I feel it, it's nice and floppy and velvety. And what I'm doing is I'm putting it right on my stovetop using my cast iron grill. Right on that grill. And what I'm looking for is it to start to bubble, and you'll see that in a minute. I already see it developing. Maybe you can't see it with the camera. And I'm going to start seeing some bubbles on the top. And what I'm looking for is a light brown color on the bottom. Then I'm going to flip it over. It's kind of like a pita bread. This is how they make pita bread. And we're kind of adopting it and calling it pizza. It's really kind of a focaccia, pizza Bianco kind of a mix, you know. And that's why my kids like to do it. Normally we do it in the oven or on the barbecue or the pizza oven. But I thought I would adopt that idea and put it right here on the stove. And I'm trying to use things that you're going to find around your house, like my barbecue spatula. And what I'm looking for, I'm hearing some good sound down there. It sounds really good, but it's not quite done enough. It's starting to rise and get thicker. I can see that, but it's not quite getting brown enough. And so I'm going to turn up the heat on it a little bit. Only for a minute, because that cast iron gets really hot. And I'm looking for a temperature. If I took a temperature right on it, it'd probably be about 425. And I can do that with maybe a laser thermometer that I have. I'm not using it because I'm not trying to use things that you're not going to have around the house, because you should be able to do this. And as far as making the pizza dough, you know, you don't have to make the pizza dough. Like I said, it's kind of like pita bread. Let's check that out. It's getting kind of brown. Kind of brown. So what we want is a little bit of a crunch on top, a nice crunch on the bottom, and we want to put the cheese on there and get it browned up. And if you look at it, you can start to see some bubbles developing right there on the pizza dough. Let's get the dough in there. And I can pop them or I can let them develop. I'm going to let them develop because then I'm going to get some nice crunchy spots right there. So this is about ready to flip over. I'm going to flip it over. It's like a big pancake. Got some brown on it. And so the top's going to be a bit crunchy. I'm going to add my olive oil. Shake it right on. And I don't really want it to go anywhere else. I'm going to smooth it with my fingers, nice and hot. Handful of cheese, and I'm kind of light on the cheese here. We're not trying to make a real thick, heavy pizza. The kids like something that's a little light. If you like more cheese, obviously, you know, they'll tell you. I'm going to cover it up real quick, making my own little pizza oven right here on the grill top. And some of it's going to melt here. And I'm just waiting for that bottom to get nice and browned up. So one of my secrets is that I'm going to come over here to the oven, or I have it set on broil at 500 degrees, and then I'm going to brown the top using the broiler. So that's a little secret that you can do at home with your regular pizza. It really helps to get you that nice crispy, kind of slightly brown cheese and crispy dough on the outside. And I hear some good sounds coming from here. And it looks like the cheese is starting to melt, and that's all good. You know, we can add sauce to this, oil and then sauce, maybe a few meat toppings, pepperoni. Kids like pepperoni. Whatever kids like, vegetables, whatever kids like. You can finish it right here. It's been about a minute and a half. You can finish it right here in my little homemade pizza oven. Or, I mean, you're going to see a real trick that I use all the time. Let's look at the bottom here. What I'm really looking for is some nice brown, which I see. And so I got the brown bottom, but I don't have brown little peaks on my cheese. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to improvise and use a cookie sheet. I'm going to turn that heat off real quick so I don't burn up everything. Got to be safety first, right? Safety minded, especially around kids. Then I'm going to put that right on the cookie sheet, and that's going to go in the oven. I have another cookie sheet in there. There's another secret. I don't want to make a mess. And I'm doing everything one-handed here. That's one of my things that I'm trying to do here, is cook one-handed. And that is going right on the grill, right below a nice hot broiler. So the broiler element is right underneath it, and it's going to stay there for about a minute. And then I'm going to have some nice ooey gooey cheese mixed with that nice extra virgin olive oil and some crispy crust. And when my kids get home after a long day of playing and being with their friends, they're going to have a real treat that they're just going to love. So let me bring it out of the oven real quick. And once again, some options that you can do besides cooking it on the pan. You can put the pan in the oven, cast iron skillet, or you can use a skillet. I use my grill there. You could cook it on a cookie sheet like this. Obviously, you know, I try to use something thick. It kind of transfers the heat better. But you can definitely turn a skillet over in your oven, if you can get it to stay in there, and put it right on that surface. I think that would make a nice surface that would really mimic what I got here. And what I got here was enough brown on my crust to make it nice and crunchy on the outside, but also tender and bubbly on the inside. So it's going to taste really great. Anyway, let me see how that's coming along. I was thinking about a minute. It's been pretty close to that. And everything's boiling up really good here, as you can see. So I'm going to pull that out. You can hear that. And I'll show you what that looks like. Now normally we want to definitely let that set for our kids. And I don't have a lip here, so I think I can get this off. Or maybe not. Nah, spatula time. Safety first. I don't have my glove on, so I don't want to reach too far in there. That could be a disaster on my hand. Cheese, I'll clean that off and set this right on my cutting board where I'm going to cut it. And so that's what I was looking for, the oil and the cheese to be mixed. Some nice brown edges. And when I cut it, I'm going to hear a nice crunch. So let's get that cutting going. So there's a nice piece, daddy piece, as my kids would say. And I got air pockets in there, some nice brown on the bottom, and nice melty cheese on the top. And I think the kids are going to love it, and it'll be a nice satisfying little dinner when they get home. Anyway, that's Pizza Fun, pizza for kids, and it's a simple idea that you can do at home anytime.